everyone. We're from Group 3 and we're going to explain about the Bradmark Chapter 9 cases. So for the first question, from the case description and the associated flowcharts, assess Bradmark's internal controls over its revenue cycle procedures. So there are three main departments. The first one is the sales department. To provide customers with credit limits beyond their designated limits, clerks must obtain approval from a credit manager. And for the warehouse department, the delivery process is well controlled, demonstrated by clear and systematic steps. The system would synchronize the inventory listed in the system with the actual state. And finally, for the billing and cash department, handling physical documents such as invoices, receipts, bills, and other requires independent verification. These important documents also need to be copied. Moving on to question 2. Using the case description, the flowchart, the file structures, and the selected financial data below, specify an audit objectives. These can be achieved using ACL for each management assertion presented in the matrix below. For each audit objectives, really describe the ACL test procedures. As an example, the first row in the matrix has been completed for you.
Okay, so moving on, the example that has been given is the existence or occurrence. So for the audit objective is to verify that the AR represents amount actually owed to Bradmark, and the audit procedures is to be performed using ACL. Is you use ACL to prepare a receivable listing and select AR confirmation, samples confirmation, classify the customer and sales invoice. And then the second management assertion is to valuation or allocation. For the audit objective is to verify that the amount recorded in the account receivable reflect its net realizable value. For the audit procedures is to derive from age AR balance and also review sales invoice using age due date, amount due, and cutoff 20041 And then for the third one is to completeness. The audit objective is to verify that all outstanding balances owed to the organization as of the balance sheet date are appropriately recorded in the account receivable and ensure that the financial statement accurately include all sales transactions for shipped goods, service provided, as well as returns and allowance within the specific period. The audit procedures to be performed using ACL is to use ACL to review reconciling process, use ACL to review customer sales, invoice analyze statistical, and profile review, sales invoice, and shipping log. Join the table identify anomalies, duplicates to identify anomalies, and gaps. Continue on the accuracy. So the audit objective of accuracy is to ensure that the computation of revenue transaction is accurate. Based on the account current prices and correct quantities, verify the accuracy and agreement of the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger, sales invoice file, and remittance file with the general ledger accounts, ensuring that all mathematical calculations are correct. So the audit procedure is to do validation, test compare prices charged on every invoice, sort on ascending, descending, and verify, certify the amount due to get the maximum and minimum, and validate with the total value. For number question 3, it will be continued by Tasha.
Okay, so moving on question 3, we are going to perform the audit procedures that need to be performed using the ACL. So for the first management assertion, which is the existence or the occurrence, we need to use the ACL to prepare account receivable listing, and we also need to select the AR confirmation samples. The first thing that we need to do is click the sales invoice table here, and then and also the customer table, and we need to relate them. But first we need to check whether it has the same length and the same type. Okay, we need to check first. Okay, so here the sales invoice has this, what we need to assure here is the customer number. So in the sales invoice table, the customer number has 14 for the length and also the type of ASCII. And For the customer table here, the customer number has the similar length, which is 14, but the type here is print. So I think we need to change it into the ASCII. Okay. Okay, we already changed it, and now we need to relate both tables. Relate tables here. Okay, and then sales invoice is the parent, and then we need to relate tables at the table, the customer, and then we relate it based on their customer number. There. Then we click finish. And after we relate those table, we need to extract the relate table so we can make new tables that will show the whole data. Extract data. Then here, extract fields. And then we need to put customer number, and then put invoice number, and then the amount due, and then the due date, and we need to click from the table and then put the customer here, and we put customer name and also the customer city. Okay, we can also click here for the customer street. And then after we selected these fields, we click OK. And rename it into sales table. Okay. And then here we can see the new table that consists of all of these fields that we already selected before: customer number, invoice number, amount due, the date, name, city, and also street. And yep, I think I will classify the new table so that it can be more easier to read. Amount due with the classified on the name with the subtotal of the amount due, and click OK. Okay, so here we already classify the name and also the amount due. Here we can see all of the counts from the Excel enterprises. They have 18 records, and also for the percentage of count, percentage of field, and the amount due. And then yeah, we can scroll down and we can see of the total of the records. Here we have 700 total of records, which is in line with the total records here below. 700 records with the total percentage of 100%, 100%, and also the amount due of 5,379,996.96. So this will show the occurrence or the existence that the Bradmark AR, that this name is actually owed some account receivable to Bradmark. Okay, next. Next. Okay, so moving on, we are going to do the next management session, which is the valuation and allocation. So in this valuation and allocation, we need to ensure that the amount in an account receivable is matched with the net realizable value. So to do that, we need to click the sales invoice table, and then we will click this age button, and then we will use the due date here. And for the subtotal, we click for the amount due with the cutoff date. We will put it for 2004. 2004 here, and with the month of December and the date of 31. Okay, so 31 December 2004, and then we can click OK. And here we can see here that the minimum encountered was -9, and also the maximum encountered was 7,288. And here we can see for the days less than 0, and for the maximum is for 1000. See, we can see here for the table, and we can click it here. This is for the less than 0, and here we can see for the count of records, which is in a total still 700, but we can see here for the 0 to 29 it has count of 250, and this is the percent of count, percent of field, and is the amount due, which is still the same with before. That we can see here the total is 5,379, and this is the 100%. Okay, so I think that's all for the valuation and allocation. I guess that the account receivable and the net realizable value is matched. Okay, next we go into the third part that we will do the assertion of completeness, which is that in this assertion we will determine the total of the records, and we will verify like the sales that might have been done and others. So here we go into the sales invoice table. First, we need to count the records. Here it is shown that still 700 records. You can click the total field, and okay, oops, we can amount due here. Yeah, so for the total fields of the amount due, that we already know before is 5,379, and for the total fields of the remittance number is 2,063,574, and After this, we can take a look for the statistical here, statistics in the profile. We go back, analyze statistical, and do the statistic. We can do it for the okay. So here, we can see that for the remittance sales date here, highest and the lowest, and then for the remittance number, um, it is still the same as before, and for the due date also, and for the amount due, we have the average and the total and the number of two zeros positive. Yes, you can take a look at here, highest and the lowest. And after this, we can take a look. After we take a look for the total records, we can verify it using the join table between the sales invoice and also the shipping log here. It has POL number, carrier, invoice number, customer number, and ship date. There we can check here whether it is still related or not. Okay, so it is not related because we need to join both of the tables. It is not with the shipping log, so we can join the table. We can put here. So the primary table here is the sales invoice, and the secondary table here is the shipping log. For the primary keys is the I think for the invoice number, okay, no, that is 9, type is ACI, and for the secondary key is invoice number also, and for the primary fields, can choose some all, and the secondary is is the POL, and then customer number, invoice number, carrier, and the ship date. Okay. This is the important ones: POL number, customer number, invoice number. Okay. And I just want to sort this part. Number first, and then remittance, no, amount to remittance, and then the due date. So still. Okay. So we can name it into sales thing. Then we click OK. Oh, I need to check something. So before I haven't clicked this resort secondary table. Okay, so we can try it now. Oops. Primary table is invoice. Okay. Yes. Okay. We did it. So this is the sales date, remittance number, invoice number, due date, customer number, amount due, POL, invoice number, ship date, and customer number. You have double customer number, so I guess we can remove this one. And it has two invoice number as well. Okay. Due date, ship date, sales date. Okay. So again, count the records again. So here, on the total is 908, 908, 699 records. So it is minus one from the previous records. So I guess it's missing one of the records. So I guess it's not really complete here. And we can check it more with the gaps. Yes, sales invoice, and then we look for the gaps. Okay, oops, state. Okay, so from the gaps on the invoice number, there are 173 gaps range detected with the 13,000 missing items. So this is what we found. And for the duplicates, we can check it for the duplicates of invoice number. Okay. Oops, screen. But in this invoice number, in the sales invoice table, it has 0 duplicates detected. So I guess that's all to how to check the completeness assertion in this ACL. Okay, so for the last assertion, which is the accuracy, we need to check whether the records is accurate enough or not. So okay, what we need to do is pick the sales invoice table and then click analyze, and then click count record first. Okay, so as we know, it has 700 records, and after that, we can go with the analyze again and then go with the total fields, and we click the amount to here since we need to check the accuracy of the amount. Then here, we already know this before that the amount is 5 million, and we can match it, check it, statistical, statistic amount due, then we click OK. And we can see here that the total of the amount due is 5 million here, and it is matched with what we already done before, which is counting based on the total fields. And we can make it this certification. We try to certify, and then the amount due. Um, and we can go here with the minimum and the maximum, which is automatically stated here since we already counted with the statistics before, so it is automatically shown. And then we can click for with the interval of 10, make sure it is on screen, and you can click OK. So here the result shown that the minimum encountered was 0 and the maximum encountered is 55,491. And we can see that the count here 0 till 5,000 is 309 with the percent of account, percent of field, and the amount due with these intervals here, and it still has it's still having the same totals, which is the total records of 700 and the total amount due of 5 million. It is already matched with what we already showed before. Okay, next we can maybe do some verification to the data here just to make sure we can verify, and then click the amount too. Okay, so here in the data it has 0 validity errors detected. Okay, I guess the data is accurate and match with of the steps that we already done before, and guess that's all for the accuracy assertion. Okay, so I'm going to click this present first. Okay, so for number 4, the question is using the matrix format below, identify an operational business concern related to the revenue procedures and briefly describe the audit objective and ACL procedures to answer this concern. So in this number 4, we have 3 tables here that need to be answered. The first one is the audit operational concern, audit objective, and the audit procedures to perform using the ACL. So for the audit operational concern, we put the segregation of duties, and for the audit objective, we need to ensure that the purchase transactions are accurately calculated based on the account, the correct prices, and also quantities. And the procedure that we can do to ensure this transaction is to use the stratify and classify features of the ACL to identify different characteristics and anomalies in the account receivable. Okay, so we can go through the ACL now. Okay, so here from the sales invoice, we can do stratify first here, the analyze, stratify. Okay, so um, we can check the statistical first here, the amount due. So the total here is 55,000, and for the sales invoice, we can certify, and the minimum and the maximum is automatically inputted there, and the amount due. Oops, to do this. Okay, and the interval of 10, and then click OK. Here, so the amount due has some intervals here with the count records based on the interval and the percentage here and the amount due, but the total is still the same here. We can check for the minimal one. So here's the list of the records. And then for the maximum one, here only have one invoice amount due also. And yeah, that's for the certification on the amount due. But we can check. Oops. Okay, wait. Sales invoice table. Okay. Sales invoice and then statistical. Okay, here we can check for the remittance number now. Analyze, stratify. Okay, so for the remittance number, here is the counting of the records. It is surprisingly that the remittance number only have the minimum one and the maximum one. For the minimum one, it only has 538, while the maximum one is 162, and the in between interval here has no amount. So we can check here. Remittance number is 0, all of them. And yeah. Okay. Now, since we already do the certify, we can classify them using the amount due. Okay. So this is the list of the customer number with the count of records and the percent of count, percent of field, and the amount. Here, you can check. Yep, with the customer of number of this, it has two different accounts with the remittance number here, the date, sales date. Oops. Wait, I'm going to do that again. And for the here, this number, it has the most, this customer number is has 100 counts. This, there's so many. It is, yep. We can do classify for the remittance number. So, okay, but it is still the same. This has the most many account receivable. Here the customer number of 85,003. Okay, I think that's all for number 4. We already shown you for the tables and also the procedures in Excel. Thank you.